Howdy. Howdy. Just let me grab Barbara and we'll get started. No brush required with myself and Barb Reed, who is here
I'll say
now.
howdy.
Howdy.
Howdy, howdy. Happy
Howdy,
Valentine's
howdy,
Day.
partner.
Howdy, howdy.
Happy Valentine's Day. Happy Tuesday. Happy all that stuff.
I'm wearing pink because it's Valentine's Day.
Oh, okay.
Just cause.
Good. Good.
Just cause.
Not me. I'm in all my layers because it's freaking cold.
Is it?
Yes.
It's nice here.
Yeah.
It's gorgeous out. Mind you, the construction site next door, I don't know if you can hear it. Even with the windows closed, it is just like on fire.
Oh.
They're like pounding the ground. There's a new building going up. So yet another.
Yeah.
We have two going up right next door. So
Like many mega towers?
two mega towers, yeah. Probably another 10 stories higher than the one we live.
So how long does that take?
Years. Like probably 2.5, 3 years.
Yikes.
By the time they get the major construction done, and then they work on the interiors, and it's just a blast. That's what you get for living downtown.
Yeah.
In a by the lake, that's where all the developers want to build. So that's another story. I will not get grumpy over that.
Okay.
It is what it is.
Okay. We have lots of sun here, though. Douglas said he's so cold in Seattle, but I bet you the reason why it's so cold in the Pacific Northwest is because it's clear. They always go hand in hand for us. So, we get the sunshine, but then we have the frost on the roofs when we get up in the mornings.
We're getting some nice Valentine's greetings. Brenda, thank you.
Hi, happy Valentine's Day.
Did you do anything for Valentine's Day?
Well, it's kind of a non-holiday in our house. And I'll tell you the reason why is because my husband and I went on our first date on February 15th, 29 years ago tomorrow. And he specifically asked me out for the 15th because he felt the 14th was too much pressure.
That is a lot of pressure. Yes. For a first date?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
So we do, like we make Valentine's cards. I make a beautiful card. He does recycling crafts. That's the easiest way to put it. So I never quite know what I'm going to get.
That's nice.
Yeah. And then we have a nice dinner at home. I just picked up groceries. I'm going to make an Italian fish soup, cioppino, for dinner tonight.
Very
so
nice.
Yeah.
Very nice.
How about you guys?
Running errands, and I said, if you were to buy a cake, wink, chocolate would be my preference. So I think he's going to he'll go over to Fortino's and pick up like a cute little chocolate cake. And we'll just have a nice dinner. And you know what? Every day is Valentine's Day around here.
Aw, that's so sweet. Okay.
No, we don't. I almost I just don't want to take one day and go, oh, this is like the special day, right? Just
I know.
Yeah.
It's kind of a Hallmark holiday, right?
Yeah, and I think it's for people who've just started dating or they're in a new relationship. But when you've been together for like as long as you guys have and as long as we have, it's just a good excuse for a nice chocolate cake.
Yeah, that got added to my grocery list this morning. I pocketed my list and I got to the grocery store and pulled it out, and there was a little handwritten cake with
a little addition
underneath it. A little addition.
Yeah, good. All right, so I hope we get some studio sharers today.
Well, I do have a request to join, so if you guys are popping on, we had suggested that today would be a great day if you wanted to share some studio tour shots with us. That would be great. You can pop on, you can request to join. And if you've never been on a live before, just a couple of things. Make sure when you come on that your sound's on so we can hear you and you can hear us. And you can flip your camera around so that we see your face, not whatever your phone is aimed at, because that's the classic come on a live and all of a sudden we see your bathroom or
the wall.
Worse, or the wall.
And your studio doesn't have to be tidy.
Oh,
in fact, if it's a mess, that's even better. I know a lot of people were saying, oh, it's not very clean. It's not. Who cares?
Let's normalize messy studio. And a couple of people did say too that I welcomed them to join us, and they said they were too nervous or not confident enough to. This is the perfect opportunity if you've never gone live and you want to go live, because we're here to hold your hand, and you don't have to worry about any of the tech stuff. And you don't have to stay on for more than 2 minutes if you don't want to.
Yeah, like just quick tour, get the heck off.
Yeah. Shall I see who's here? Who's here? Oh, it's Nadine Johnson. And I want to see her new studio. She just moved into a brilliant new studio. Here she comes.
I like that entrance.
Hi, guys.
Hi.
I could hear the little beep, and I was like, I think that's me.
That's you.
Hi.
Hi.
Happy Valentine's Day, friends.
Happy Valentine's Day.
Yeah, I'm not wearing pink yet, but I'm wearing pink lipstick and my red glasses. And
Perfect.
yeah.
Perfect.
So my husband's taking me for dinner tonight.
Nice.
Lovely.
Yeah, so that's nice. So I'm excited about that.
Yeah.
I'm in my studio, kind of putting it back into working order, because we had a market here on Saturday night for the Market Amour, which was like a Valentine's special, and it was fantastic.
Awesome.
Yeah, we had lots of people, some really wonderful art conversations, which was really nice, because that doesn't always happen. So it was really excellent.
Good.
Yeah, so I can flip my camera in my little screen there. Do I just the little happy face, or the things that go here?
Is it at the top of her box?
There we go.
There, you did it.
Okay, I'm going to just step out and then step back in so you guys can see where I am. So this is my space, and there's my name on my door.
Is that like one of those barn door sliding doors?
Yep.
Oh, come on.
So, yeah, isn't that nice?
That's really beautiful.
Yeah, so this is my hallway, and I have some wonderful friends now here.
Jealous.
This is my new piece here on the outside.
Gorgeous.
Yeah. And then a lot of you have already seen my pink shelves. They're sort of like famous now. And there is my peg wall, which will have some works in progress on it. They're all working their way back.
I love the peg wall.
So do I.
It's actually a better solution than screwing in screws to your wall.
Yeah, for sure.
You know,
Did you do that? Did you put up the peg wall?
we had, when we first came here, so you see, okay, so I can show you actually closely for people that are kind of wondering.
Brilliant.
It is.
So there's these hooks that I got them from Rona. And then there's these, that's kind of a bad shot, but there's those hooks, which I got on Amazon. Now, the only thing that I'll say about the peg wall is it's fantastic. I had plywood in my last studio, so I had screws in my wall, and they were great. But with the peg wall, you have to get the right hooks, because depending on the profile of the like what you're working on, the ones that I had that were the straight end, they are great for boards like panels and things like that. But if I have them in the wall and put a canvas over top, the canvas can kind of hit against it, so you could almost puncture it.
Oh, okay.
Okay, so that's where the little short hook came, the one that I showed you from Rona. This one here. This is a great hook to have. So that one is an excellent hook. And it's short enough, and that little black strap kind of holds it in place.
Yeah.
And it's really good for like small paintings. So if you're working on any like really small paintings. So I had my wall had a bunch of little minis for the Saturday night event, and then I had all the works and stuff on the other side. So it's great, actually.
Yeah, I love that.
Change it according to what kind of play, right? With the wall, unless you go really, really close, you're kind of stuck. Like I can't put less than 12 on.
Yeah. No, it's actually the thing. So how you would want to attach it is probably you'd have to put a slat up and then screw into the slat. But that would then it would reduce the amount of holes in your wall, right? You'd only have a few. So so it's great. It works great, and it lets me hang a bunch of stuff,
Yeah.
gets it off the floor. So yeah.
What's
So
on
that,
your shelves? What's on your shelves? Go
here,
back. I want to
I'm
be
going
snoop. Like,
back.
I want to get in
Okay.
there. Like,
So
get
here,
in there. Oh, root around. Okay.
let me move that. So these are my shelves. I have some bags and things that I use when I teach, or if I'm going somewhere to paint, I use those to bring my supplies. I've got another one up on top over there. And I had a friend who graciously donated some old encyclopedias that I use for collage. I've got some art books, but most of those books up there on the right I use for collage, sketchbooks, and that I've been using for years and filling up with notes and things, paints and tape and odds and sods. I've got some house paint there that I do use, but I'm a little bit of a purist, so if I'm using house paint, I only use house paint. I don't mix the two. I haven't been brave enough to do that, so it's either pure acrylic or house paint. Inks and that I was using for like some systemic writing things to make papers for my paintings. And then I have some small boards that like plywood 3/8 and that I cut into 12-inch squares that I use for workshops, or also like I use those for paintings as well, and then they end up in frames. My 5-gallon pail of white paint.
Of course.
Yes. Yeah.
Like
and
the gallon pails.
Yeah, and that's a Nova 5-gallon, which was really worth buying. Baby wipes and gloves and different paints and mediums and things like that.
So organized.
Yeah, and then my gels, my gel gloss, and all my varnishes and different mediums that I've been using through the years. You know, I use mostly collage in my work. I don't use a lot of mediums, but there's a couple that I like. So I'm using those now teaching because people want to experiment, and then instead of having to buy it, if you're not sure if you like it, right? And then tools. So a lot of the tools and brushes and things that I use are in little bins. As you can see, I recycle my yogurt containers. And yeah, papers for collage. I also store my collage papers like this because they weigh like about, I mean, I can pick all that up. It weighs like 2 ounces. And I spread them out around the studio and different color codes, right? So that way you can see what you want to use. I have a little cart here. It's an IKEA cart that has all my little tools. This is my island.
Oh my gosh, look at those paints.
I think I've posted this before. So this is an island that I bought from IKEA, and then Dave actually put a plywood on the bottom and just put wheels on it. So I can wheel it around my studio. It's fantastic, right?
Yeah. Gotta love it.
Yeah, it's an amazing, right? And then those are just storage shelves that we got from IKEA years ago. And I've just been kind of using them, and I adjust the shelving depending on what I need. And as you can see here, because I don't have a ceiling, thankfully, I can store my 6-foot canvas, and it sits up there really nicely. And then
do you have water in there?
I have water down the hall. So we have, like, if I go in the other direction, there is a nice big industrial sink that all the artists have access to. And Joanne's down the hall. I'll show you her studio, and then I can sign off so I don't take up too much time of you. You know, I don't want to hog the hour here. You know, I have room for my little red chair and my desk and all of that. So
I would live in there.
Yeah, it's
what space?
I broke. Yeah, you broke up there.
Yeah, you're breaking up.
How many square feet?
This one is 16 by 8.
Okay.
So yeah, it's a good size. It's just about the size of the studio I had at home, but I had storage. I had another sort of area where I had storage at home. So when we sold the house, some of the stuff is actually in storage now. But as I go through things and when we move, we'll figure that out. So I'll walk down and show you, I'll show you Joanne's studio. So this is the other direction from my studio. And these are, so these are all artists here. Okay. And
nice.
There is my two friends. Yes. And there's Joanne's space. See? Hello.
It's like a little area there too.
Yeah, yeah. So there's Joanne's, and she's not here right now. And there's our kitchen. Hi, Jen.
Yep. Hi. Kitchen.
And there's the sink. Yeah.
What a wonderful space.
Yeah. So this is where I spend my days now. It's fantastic.
I bet you do.
Yeah, super lucky.
Like a 5-minute drive?
5 minutes. Yeah, I'm really lucky because I'm very close. So, and I'll only be maybe, when I move, maybe 7 minutes to get here. So it's really great.
That is gorgeous, and congratulations on that. And it looks like it's full of potential too for more of these open studio events.
Yeah, I think so. It was really Saturday. We had one in December when we first opened, but we were only here like 2 days, and then they had an event. But Saturday night was really special, and some really wonderful people came. So we had a lot of people that were really interested in art, which is nice, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
She asked for the size. What type of building is it? How many artists are?
It's actually, it's like a warehouse. And so it's just a warehouse with like overhead doors. I don't even know what was here before. There's probably 18 artists, and then there are like painters. No, maybe, 18 painters. And then there is a writer here. There's a photographer here. There's a gentleman here that does resin work on wood, like he builds, I think, furniture and does resin. I haven't seen him much, but his studio is actually sealed. So when they built the space in here, his is all sealed. He's got a roof and everything because of what he's using, the materials. And I'm just trying to think if there's anybody else. And also at the front, well, I could walk you there, but it'll take time. We can do this another day too. There is at the front of the building, so this is just warehouse, and they just built the walls, designed the studios, and then built the walls, and here we are. But at the very front, there's a exhibition space. So there's 2 rooms there that get used for like solo shows and exhibitions or workshops and things like that we have access to as well.
This is like a dream.
Yeah, it's kind of crazy.
We should all have, space buildings like this for people like us.
Yeah, it's pretty special. Like most cities have like sort of art collectives kind of where you can rent studios and that, but this one they intentionally set it up so that it would be sort of a business venue, and also could be used like the markets is something that they're going to really promote here. And they're going to do in the spring and in the summer. They're going to do in the spring a Midsummer Nights theme tied in with the gallery, because we're connected to the Christine Clausen Gallery here in Calgary. So they'll open the doors, and they're going to have big outside venues, and it'll be interesting to see.
Special.
Yeah.
Did we mention that this was in the Calgary area?
I don't know.
But it's
Calgary.
It's Calgary.
It's Calgary.
Yeah,
Exactly.
if anyone was wondering. It reminds me of the space in what is it, Sausalito? The the California, like where Nick is.
ICB.
ICB.
Yeah.
Same kind of idea, only I think that place is massive.
I think they have like 100 artists or something, or a couple hundred. It's crazy big, right?
Yeah.
So it would be fun to be that big here. I mean, when you bring that many artists together, it's pretty powerful what can happen. Yeah, so we're a small group, but we're working to see, it'll be interesting. Like the spring will be fun. We're going to do open studios, and then they're going to do a Midsummer Night's theme sort of weekend opening. So it'll be fun.
I love it.
Yeah.
I'll need to pop by and say hi.
Come, you guys, come on.
You should
Okay.
come.
Mary, you're breaking up.
Yes.
I don't know why.
That's okay.
I can lip read, so I can sort of tell what you're saying. I think I know what she's saying. Nadine, it is spectacular. It is.
Thanks, girl.
I'm so happy for you.
Thanks. It's great to see you guys and talk, and
You too.
thanks for having me. Okay.
All right. Bye.
Bye.
We should see the opposite now, which is my studio. Like the tiniest little nook and cranny in the wall.
Can you hear me now? Am I okay now?
You're okay now.
Okay.
You're not cutting out. You were cutting out.
I don't know what's going on. Yeah, Doug, that's right. The inspiration being in a community like that's kind of, I think that's the big draw for a lot of us, right? Is to get into studio space that has the community that we want to interact with. It's a dream.
Like the potential to do those open studios, to have a venue for that. And I'm, presumably there's like so many opportunities to come up with these things, and
well,
jealous.
I was recently invited to interview for studio space at a big studio in East Vancouver. It's called Parker Street Salons, and there's, I think, over 100 artists in that. But the challenge for me is it's at least a 45-minute drive each way, hour traffic. And how many days a week am I going to go if I have to face that drive, as opposed to just walking downstairs at my studio space every day? Like I just don't manage having two spaces, because then I would need to double my equipment, and you have to, the way I work, I have to be taking paintings back and forth. So it has to be close by.
That's the thing. It has to be really, really close by. We've got this beautiful area. It's called Village Square, right next to me, and it looks like this little medieval town, and it does have businesses there. But I always thought there's an opportunity that artists could set up spaces in there. So it's like cobblestone pathways, and it looks like a Dickens village. It's actually got a big private school in there now, and a couple of restaurants and things. But one day, maybe that.
Well, my dream that will never be a reality, because as my husband says, it would be like the easiest way to lose money, would be to create some sort of artist collective where the art of the building or rented the space. There were studios and there was collective showing, exhibition gallery space. But you got to be the business person to do that. Market's not great for it. So anyways, Bonnie had a couple other questions for Nadine. Anybody else who had questions for Nadine, I would suggest you reach out to her and ask her specifically. Message her on Instagram. She can tell you a little bit more about the logistics of the space that she's in and who owns it and runs it and all the rest of it. Do we have anybody else that wants to pop on? All you need to do, if you've never done a live or joined a live, is look at the bottom of your screen, and there's a little video camera icon with a plus on it. If you hit that, it will send me an invite, and I can then let you know.
So Pretty knows Village Square. Wouldn't it be great, Pretty? Like, I think it would be sensational. And it was kind of, not that it was like that. Like back in the 80s, it was more artisans and sort of crafty places, and it's changed over the years, but still the footprint and the way that it looks is the same.
Hey,
do you have one?
Another studio.
Woohoo!
Visit.
Caught one. Let's be fishing.
Megan Woodard Johnson.
Megan, yay!
Here she comes.
Hello.
Oh my God! Hi.
Ah, she's on.
Hi.
How are you?
Tamara. Your voice it seems like it's cutting out when you add a third person, because I didn't hear you say hi to me. So, hello, everybody.
Hello. And Megan, where are you? Just so we have context.
I'm in Wisconsin in the U.S., so right in the middle, in the cold and the gray.
I'm sorry. We have all the sunshine today. It's rare.
Yeah, we actually have had a couple of really good days. February can be a really rough, long month in Wisconsin, but we've had a couple of really nice, bright days, and today it just went behind the clouds again. But I think we're getting a bunch of snow tomorrow or Thursday, so I like that.
I like that.
Makes
too.
me happy.
I like
Yeah.
that.
I don't.
But
Yeah. You
So
don't.
do you have like a home studio, or do you go somewhere else?
Yeah, I'm outside of the house. So I'm messy. I like specifically wanted to come on to show you guys
Good.
chaos. I am, my studio is like 5 minutes from my home. But it's in the sort of business where I'm in a pretty small town. So I'm in the little business square, the little sort of classic original town part. And I'm above another big business. So I don't have like street traffic or anything like that, but I'm in town and it feels kind of busy. But I am alone. I share the studio with a friend, but she's a full-time teacher. So she's not here a lot of the times that I'm here. So I'm jealous of Nadine's community. So yeah, there's nothing like that around me. I'd have to drive about 45 minutes too, like Tamara was saying.
Yeah.
So yeah. But you want to see?
Yeah. Yes, please.
Okay. Okay. So the whole space, I'll sort of show you, like that's our little door. It used to be an apartment. So it's got a lot of little like rooms. So this is like our foyer. And then we got the little room where I sit and scroll Instagram too much.
Oh, that looks cozy.
It's dangerously cozy and it's really sweet. And then this is about a 10, I would say like 12 by 12 or 10 by 12 foot room. And this is my my studio space. And then my studio mate, Deb, her space is right through these doors. And then there's a whole other part of the space where I have like storage and big tables where I can do framing and stuff. So sometimes on Instagram I share that because it's happening. But right now I'm just like in the middle of a bunch of different things. I always have lots of different work going in progress. So like these are all this classic 12 by 12 panels. And I got these little shelves from IKEA. I probably got those when I did the Nicholas Wilton course a bunch of years ago. And I like that size to work on. And then those shelves are awesome because you can see so much of what's going on at once.
Fantastic. A good old IKEA. We should
be endorsed by them, right? Because I also have the rolly carts for my paints and stuff underneath. That's cool. And then my husband built this big work table on wheels. He and then my friend Deb's husband, they're buddies, so they got together in our garage and built tables for us. And then I also have a pegboard wall, like Nadine does, and it is fantastic. I love it. It's I think I use sort of the same. I missed when she was pointing them out, but those are the little hooks I use for wood panels. And I actually can use them for canvases because the canvases I use. Sorry, you're just like everybody's just seeing a pegboard wall. That's not very interesting. I'll show you that.
No, we can tell. We can tell.
I've got a source for some really cool panels I'll show you guys, or canvases. But I've been working this week on I did this little study a while ago and I just really liked the colors. And so then I've been sort of using those as the palette for a larger piece. It's there so it doesn't drip because I just put some runny paint on it. And then another work on paper. I don't usually do studies like specifically for larger pieces, but I've been trying to draw from color palettes that I've found. So I don't know.
I love how you use those clips for your paper pieces. I think that's so cool. I love that.
They're handy. They're handy. And then when I use a really big canvas, if I don't, I actually don't use these for canvases, but I'll use these really big ones like this and put them like along the bottom edge and just rest the canvas on there. So that's a solution for that too.
Yeah, like you're making like an easel kind of.
Exactly. Yeah. So that's
brilliant.
That's it. Oh, and here, I'll do it again. Let's see. That's my work table right now.
Love it.
I've got like everything going on and dirty brushes and like my big challenge when I'm in this kind of work mode is I work right up until like the minute that I leave the studio. I don't clean at the end of the day. I clean at the beginning of the day. And my biggest risk is leaving like paint open or, stuff open and letting it get ruined. So I always have to do a little assessment. But I don't know, it just works better for me to start my day by kind of, the cleaning up. Well, and it's always, I think it's because so much of my studio life has been around, I started a full-time studio practice when my kids were in school and still pretty young. So like, I would just want to work up until the time that I like had to go get them. And now I have to work until I have to run home and feed my dogs. And I don't want to stop like a half an hour ahead of time and clean up. I've never been that kind of person. But in the morning when I get here, I feel like it helps me like separate from normal life and studio life if I take 20 minutes and sort of tidy the space. Or if I've got like the paint that I was using the day before and it's ready to use, I just keep going.
It's like a little ritual. I think we all have our little ritual.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Cool.
So, but let me show you guys these cool, this might be kind of frustrating actually, but there's a guy in Milwaukee close to me. I'm going to see if I can do this one-handed that makes these canvases. Hold on a second. This is great. This is great footage, isn't it? Okay, he makes these amazing canvases. So this one, oh wait, turning around. Okay. So this one's 36 by 60. And I have some other ones that are like 60 by 40. So these are nice big ones. He creates these canvases. His business is called Infrastructure Canvas. The whole like interior is supported by like 1 inch thick foam insulation panels. Like
what
those
a good idea.
Yeah, it's so smart. And so what works, let's see. The reason I really like them is that I think a lot of you guys know my first layer on pieces tends to be collage that's like laid down and covers the whole surface. And it's hard to really press collage paper down to canvas because of that bounce back. So his wife is actually a mixed media painter and he invented these canvases for her. And now like tons of Milwaukee artists use them. And it's fun because they're close by. It's a local business. And then also I can work much larger, like those panels that we all love get so heavy if they get really big.
It is so heavy. Yeah.
Ooh, so
and then you don't get the bouncy, which drives me nuts.
Yeah.
And you've got this nice firm back.
Yeah, exactly. It works. They work really well. They hang really well. They never warp because they're so supported that way too, which is really good. And I don't like just painting directly on canvas, but it doesn't matter because I do the collage layer.
Yeah. So you build that surface.
Yeah.
Regardless if it's wood. Wow, that is cool. What was the name again?
It's Infrastructure Canvas. I'll try and send one of you guys.
Yeah.
I'll see if they have a
Send us
Instagram.
the link because even though I've got all my stuff here, I don't have a pen.
Yeah, no, that's okay. I'll send a link. You guys can share it if it.
Yeah.
It seems like it.
But what a great.
So that's
How
that.
come no one else has thought of this?
I don't know. I don't know if it's trademarked yet. So.
Yeah.
But you should buy them from Steven. I'm sure they can ship.
Oh, I'm sure.
I'll include the name in the show notes so everybody can see it. And
awesome.
if wrong, just leave me a comment after we post the replay, Megan. If you just comment what it was, and people can find it there.
That's totally what I'll do. Perfect.
That's great.
So that's that.
I love it.
Glad you guys had a little studio tour motivation today because it made me get here and get working. So I can show you the real deal.
Yeah. Good. Well, what a fabulous space.
Thanks
for.
All right. I'm gonna hop off. See if you have time to see somebody else's.
Okay.
Thank you.
Okay. How do I leave?
You never can.
Corner.
Leave.
Oh, my ex.
Yeah.
Okay.
There she goes. She's frozen.
Always freeze before you leave. Why is isn't some weird like looking down your nose to try to find the button, right?
I know.
Wow, what great space. And what I love is how much horizontal space she has, because I find you probably find that a huge challenge. For me, I've expanded horizontal space, and it's such a difference in terms of how I can move around my studio when I'm working. I can be messier.
Yes.
Did you see, I posted in my story a few minutes before this started, what I used to paint on before, like back in 2019, this little tiny cafe table, and it looked like I had my palette sitting on a stool and then an easel. That was it.
Yeah.
And I thought, and for me, that was a huge deal. And then buying a big commercial kitchen table, like a work prep table, that was a huge deal. And then adding a second was like, amazing. And if I could add a third, I would.
But yeah, it just opens up more possibilities to have that a little bit more space.
I started on the kitchen table.
Yeah.
And so I would set up every morning, and but the table that everybody needed to eat at.
Oh, shoot.
I up, and then I would put it all in a box at the end, clean everything up, and put it all in a corner in the kids' play. Yeah, it's having a dedicated space is huge. I mean, you could still do a lot with small space, as you know, or with a space that's not dedicated. But I just love being able to pop in at any moment and keep going. So.
You do what you got to do.
Yeah,
like, you do what you got to do. I just my dream, as you know, I've said it 1,000 times. My dream is to have a bigger studio space, but I like you. I love having it at home.
Yeah,
so there's that trade-off, right?
The trade-off, and you have to think about how you like to work, right? Do you work on the same stuff over and over and over one day after another, or could you be working on different pieces at different places, like maybe small stuff at your home studio and large stuff at a studio out of the house? But you know, get into that painting, you just kind of want to keep working on it. So for me, it's a bit of a challenge, but you do what you got.
Bonnie, you got to do what you got to do.
Absolutely. Anybody else want to pop on? All you need to do is hit the little plus button in the video camera right next to the comments box at the bottom of your screen, and you can show us your studio. You've got an audience that wants to see where you work. Otherwise, you can show.
I can show. I don't even know how to do this. Do I just turn my thing around?
Yes. Yeah, you just hit that double arrow return.
Try?
Yeah.
Okay, so we've seen the big studios. Oh God, here we go. It's coming off the thingy.
There we go.
Okay, so I'm going to back up. So we live in a condo. So basically, this is our living space, and then this is our kitchen here. And then here's my studio space, which originally would have probably been a little breakfast nook. So I have packed in probably as much as I possibly can in here. So I have my easel, which I use for bigger pieces. And then I lean any panels that I'm working on, or, you know, just panels I haven't started, against the wall next to our TV. I'm a pretty tidy stacker, so it works. And then I have my natural lighting system, which is beautiful floor to ceiling windows. So that light can't be beat. And then I was referring to these two tables that I have that I got at Uline, and they are commercial kitchen prep tables, and they come in different sizes and different heights. And I love the height of this because I can stand and work really comfortably. So I've set up two tables, same size, in an L shape. And this is my major workspace right here. So you can see I've got some small pieces on the go. And right underneath, God bless IKEA, see these oval tubs, which fit perfectly on the lower shelf, are full of paints, and they are sorted by color. And then I just lay my easel there at the end of the day. Oh, look at those, Tamara.
They would only sell me one.
Oh, that's a shame. I've got they only would sell you one of these?
Opera Row, Luminous Opera, they said that they were limiting their...
Is there
yes.
So I keep my materials. You know, I've got some markers and some fluid paints there, and all my heavy body acrylics here. I turn right around. I've got I can't even back up. That's how small this is. My little IKEA trolley with my golden fluids.
We lost your voice.
Sorry, probably because I'm trying to back up. Can you hear me? And then framing stuff down here, and gloves, which I never wear. I guess I should. I keep on my brushes and mark making tools in just containers. Paints that I use all the time that I want really close, I keep on this little table. Sandpaper, my favorite. My do you have one of these?
No. My squeezer tool.
Oh, you got to get one of these. It squeezes out like all the remnants of your paint. I think Pauline.
She did, yeah.
Did the thing on it. And then collage papers here. It's a mess. I need to do something about it. Other stuff there. Some more mark making things here. More containers for collage. And then my really old vintage books are in a big tub down here, more protected.
Yeah.
Got a tarp. So if I want to work on something really big and move to the kitchen, I can do that.
What do you do?
And
What are you doing about your floor? Are you worrying about splatters on the floor? Is it
look,
hard?
Look.
What is that?
That is from IKEA. And it is one of their kids' rugs.
Okay.
And it's great. Look at it.
Yeah.
It fit my workspace. Yes, I was splattering before. I had a smaller rug, and Roman every once in a while would get down with like a scraper, and he would scrape stuff off. We have slate floors, like natural slate, so he would scrape off the paint. But then I thought, no, I'm going to get, I think it was $49 for this big rug, and it's nice under my toes.
Right.
Very, very cozy, and the cats love it. Perhaps most important. And then, yeah, here's my setup for today. So you can see. That's it.
You are like the queen of small space. I can't believe how much you pack in there and how much you produce in that space.
And I've done big pieces. I think the biggest piece I've done is 36 by 48, but I did it in the kitchen floor. I threw down the big painting tarp and I worked over there.
Yeah.
And kind of put my palette on the kitchen counter, and the water's there. I'm always asking, do you have a water source? Because for me, I use that. Actually, I even use like the sprayer in our kitchen sink to work on pieces. So sometimes I like to put down paint, and then I'll take the sprayer and remove part of it, and it leaves like a really cool, just like remnants of paint. So I don't know. Water's a huge part of my process too. So yes, that is probably, if I had to guess, about 45 square feet of space. That's it.
What I love the most is the natural light. And a lot of studios that we saw in Nadine's studio, and we've been in other studios where the studio that I was looking at doesn't have any natural light. It's a warehouse windows. And that makes a difference too, right?
The lighting here is spectacular. Like it is spectacular. And I've actually got the blind halfway down because for doing this, I have like so much light bouncing off the outside. So there it is. I am the Marnie. Yes, and Marnie has my sister's on. She says I'm the organization queen. I'm just tidy. So I have to clean up because people ask me, how do you manage that? It just forces me, if I've been painting and working all day, I just tidy up at the end of the day because I have to look at this while we're eating dinner or while I'm cooking dinner. But I love being able to kind of swoop in like 8 o'clock at night and do something. Often I'll do major risk-taking moves on paintings at night when I have to put on the overhead light and the light's different and I kind of don't care, and then it's always a good thing. For whatever reason, at night I'm a little braver about doing stuff.
That answers. Douglas was wondering how late in the evening you paint.
Douglas, at 9 o'clock my eyes are shut. Sleep. I'm a morning person. I'm not a night person. If I come in here at night, it's rare, but it's usually super productive, and it's maybe only for about 45 minutes. And that'll be that.
Give you a little caveat, though. She is a night person when she goes on travel, when she's traveling.
That was that was unusual because I'm normally not. 1 a.m.
Yeah.
Up till 1 a.m. That's just unheard of. But New York City, the city that never sleeps, so you can't.
Yeah. That's great. I love your space.
Thank you. Do we have anybody else? No.
Nope. Douglas gives you 4 thumbs up. Nobody else is asking to come on.
That's okay.
I have a new room that I have to do something with. So I have a space that I work in that's about 12 by 12 feet, which is pretty nice size studio.
Yep.
Still working on the best layout for things because Avery, my oldest, just moved out last month, so things are changing. I don't need all the paintings for storing food like those bookshelves over there. One of them used to just be extra food. I don't do that anymore because we don't need to buy a case of canned tomatoes or
Yes. Yeah. yeah.
At a time or that sort of stuff. But now I have the room right next to us, right next to me here, that was his room that I am in the process of figuring out what to do with. So it used to be a guest room at some point, but we haven't decided how we're gonna do it. It's about 12 by 14 feet and has a closet.
Huge.
So it's got lots of great storage opportunities, and that's what I'm using right now. It's sort of my staging room. So I've moved all my stacked up artworks over there, my boxes. I put big boxes on the floor, like flat. I need to have gesso panels sitting someplace to dry, so it's giving me more space in my studio as well. That's going to be the reconfigure this year, figuring that work for additional studio space, clean studio space, because I don't want it to be dirty, but also a guest room that people could come and visit. And you and Roman ever came out here, we would have a place to put you.
We'll consider that an invitation.
It's an invitation.
We are talking about going west to see my sister.
So
it's already said we're going to go see Tamara.
A lovely little room down here. Anyways, just putting that little bug in your ear. So that's what I'm gonna kind of work on. You guys have all seen my space, though. I've done lots of videos in shared space. So yeah.
I would highly recommend, if I had my druthers, I would get more of these big U-line tables. Oh, they're on wheels too, by the way. So that's really important. But I would get even longer ones and form a U. So that I like the idea. It's like being in the Star Trek. What is it? The Enterprise?
Yeah.
On Star Trek, Captain Kirk or something, and having everything right there. So you just kind of turn to your right, turn to your left, and it's accessible, right?
I have a small table that's on wheels. That one right there, that IKEA, because I didn't know that mine had bigger ones, but it's perfect because I set it right next to my painting wall, and that's where I tend to have my paints and my palette and everything.
Fantastic. Yeah, and you can just move it where you are.
Where I want to around, and then I can put it flush against the wall at the end of the evening if I want. It's got lots of storage space on it, and it's a nice height, but it's small. Like it really fits my I use a cafeteria tray, large cafeteria trays. So it really only fits that and whatever other paints and things. Everything else is lower tables. I don't really sit to work very much. They're more to lay things out on as I go. So
yeah, no, I'm a stander and I like it. Well, you're a little taller than me, so you don't want to be like hunched over. So table height's really important. So that's why Restaurant Supply, Bonnie, is so good for that.
I've just invited you on.
Who?
I just sent invite Preeti. Oh, Kelvin David says, how are we doing? I think he's not really here for that.
I don't think so.
Hi there. Hi.
Preeti.
How
hello,
are
hello.
you? How are
Doing
you?
great.
Good. Happy day.
How do I show you my studio?
I can tell you because I've never done it, and this was not hard. So a look above your head. You should have a two
There
arrows.
goes.
She did
Oops,
it. Oh
no.
no!
Oh.
See the two little arrows?
Here
There
it
you
goes.
go.
Okay. So this was a storage room down here 12, 13 years ago. And so then it's about 10 by 10. You can see the ceiling is still the way it was. Anyway, we pulled out all the shelving. We added a window here with glass blocks to let in some light. And I took over this space. So
awesome.
Here it is. And the best part is what I really would like to show. I mean, it's like any other studio with, a wall here where I hang my stuff, my easel, my workspace, lots of canvases being, stored under the table. Then I have frames here. When there was a shortage of frames, I kind of went crazy. Bought out the store. So I can open a store of my own, but whatever. And here are my, my few certificates and ribbons and some paintings that are finished. But the best part is what I got done is when we were doing this renovation, it was actually our kitchen that was being renovated. And we were putting in a new kitchen, and I was really, half the kitchen I gave off to Habitat for Humanity. And then there was this wall of pantry that was beautiful.
Oh.
And I did not want to give it away. So it came down here to my, I have a little sink here, water.
There it is, water source.
And now here you go. See, look at this. So I have storage for.
Cry when I see all of your storage. Oh my gosh.
Canvases.
Yeah.
The best part is the next. I mean, I cleaned it up so that I could show it. I was going to do a video here, but you know, like a reel. But I said, oh, okay, I'll come on. Look at these. Like, why would I not recycle my kitchen?
Okay,
you know,
that is fantastic. So you know what's at the back of the shelf. It's not stuff that's going to be there for the next.
Yeah, it's all my mediums in here, and then I have my works on paper. You know, and so it's been wonderful actually. My sketchbooks at the bottom, not very clean there. And then I have more. My daughter paints as well, or she used to. I have all my collage papers stacked in there. So it keeps it kind of neat.
Yeah.
More canvases.
Tabs are great.
You know,
Great,
all kinds of stuff. Yeah, so, you know, I have one wall is totally like I recycled my kitchen cabinets.
That's fantastic.
So I have all the storage, which is really nice. And, you know, the bigger canvases sit there. I need to do something about this space and maybe have like 2 shelves so that I can stack the canvases one on top. And this is the studio. And I'll show you something else too outside. When, if ever, any client comes by, we come down these stairs to the basement because I'm in the basement. And this is my little gallery where I have them sit here. And then they can look at my paintings, and they can have some wine if they want.
I'll be there.
And here you go. So this is my this is my little gallery where they can.
Beautiful.
Yeah. So that's it. That's it. That's my little space.
So what's your lighting? Like how are you lighting?
Oh, my lighting is the not like when I got this renovated, I had these big huge lights put in. So
it looks pretty well lit.
Yeah. And I have one that is directly over, one sec, like directly over my workspace. So there's pretty good lighting because when I take the painting upstairs, I don't really find any difference because the person who built it for me or renovated it for me, it was his suggestion to put in these lights. He said they were like daylight.
Yeah,
right.
That's what you want.
Yeah, so that's what I have. Painting that's sorting out. And so yeah, I have tidied up a little bit. I must say I'm not so tidy. And I have my little IKEA cart here that I pull wherever.
So all of us have IKEA stuff in our studio.
I know, we do. It's the best.
It is.
It's the best. Even this pegboard where I put my, you know, my paper and my pencils and all. This is all IKEA.
Okay,
that's all IKEA.
So like you can get like a smaller pegboard. I don't really have it.
Yeah. I have a small pegboard. But that idea of doing the pegboard would be really nice on this wall. Yeah. That's a good idea actually.
Isn't it?
So it is. It's a wonderful idea.
Well, thank you very much.
Let somebody else come on. Thank you so much.
Well, we're kind of close to the end, but
okay. I'll say bye. Thank you, and happy Valentine's Day.
Thanks for coming on. I was just looking at the clock. We have to watch that, right?
Yeah. Okay. Now I need to have my glasses to see how do I exit. Just get me out of there.
You just can't. There should be an X. or just.
This is the worst. How about
we'll pretend you're not.
What if I just just leave and then maybe
just exit the room.
Okay.
And we'll just look at your stuff there.
Oh, that's funny.
There she goes.
Bye, Preeti. Thanks for coming by. It was really good to see all these great spaces. Everybody has so much variety, and I taking notes. I have some ideas now for enhancement.
Yeah, I have one possible wall to put a pegboard, but it means taking down my giant martini glass, which I love. But I guess I could. No, but I like having that because this is
This spare room should be part gallery. I love that.
I love that too.
I love that too. Going to be stored in there. I may as well store it on the wall where people can look at it when they come and visit me.
Which will be hopefully in the next few months. We will plan it. Anyways, should we let people know that we're not back until a couple weeks from now?
A couple quick announcements. Somebody gets to go to someplace warm for a couple weeks. Yay, not me. Miss Barbara. So the next 2 weeks will be on pause. We will not be back until March, whatever that date is. March?
Beginning of March.
Beginning of March, whatever the first
date in March. Let you know.
Is. And then that'll be the 7th of March because March starts on a Wednesday. And the other note that we wanted to make, did you write down the date? Here, I wrote down the date. On March 28th, we are going to do our next episode of No Brush Required Reads. And we decided to read Clear Seeing Place by Brian Rutenberg. Or is it Rutenberg? I think it's Rutenberg. That out before we make an announcement.
Yeah.
So we will put together a little poster. We'll put that up, pin it on our feed so that you guys can see and grab the book. And that recommendation came from quite a number of you. So thank you much for everybody who sent us book titles. We were kind of looking for things that might be not as many pages as the book we just read.
It's a quick read and it's hilarious. I thought it was hilarious and it's relatable, but you get some great insights into his process and his personality. Barbados, Bonnie. Bonnie asked where I was going.
So if you want to go ahead and grab that or borrow it or download it or get the Audible book or put it on hold at the library, you've got 6 weeks.
Yeah, it'll take, you could read it in an afternoon. I think I did.
Yeah, but we'll follow up on that and let everybody know and they can find it. And Melody's already reading it. You're already ahead. Woo! Yay, don't you love it when you're ahead of the assignment?
I think I might read it again.
Yes.
Because I read it about 6 weeks ago, so it's time to reread it.
I read it at least a year ago, so I'm going to reread it.
You got to reread it. Yeah, yeah.
All right.
I will send a heart because it's Valentine's Day.
Happy Valentine's Day.
Happy
everybody. We'll see you in 2 weeks. Barbara, have a wonderful holiday. And burnt. Don't get sunburnt.
Oh, no. Sunblock is mega sunblock's coming with me in my big straw hat.
Awesome.
So, yeah, rum punches. Rum punches. That's all I'm saying.
You're going to have so much.
Yeah. All right.
Ready for being here. We really appreciate you too, Jules. And I'll put the information everybody gave us in their little studio tours up on our replay. See you soon.
Have a great rest of the week, everybody. See you in a couple weeks. Bye. Bye.